Josh,
Well,
you boldly said you voted for the president. Now, I assume that was in 2008 and 2012? Twice?
I've been a long-time supporter.
Do you believe you have violated the sanctity of the ballot box by telling us who you voted for? Have you broken any constitutional privilege?
I'll leave that for you guys to decide.
All right, folks, an obvious reference to the race in Kentucky. Welcome back. Sean Spicer, Communications Director for the RNC, the Republican National Committee, joins us. Hey, Sean. I don't hear him. All right, we'll try to fix our technical difficulties. I do not hear Sean, so until we do, there we go. Now I think I might hear you, Sean. Now I do. Yes. All right. Very good. I hear you now. Sorry for the technical difficulty. All right. You know what? I want to talk about, first of all, what the president did today and what he did not do. He decided not to make a campaign appearance in Connecticut for the incumbent governor running for re-election there because of he had to meet with his cabinet over Ebola. Yet on other emergencies or instances of national importance or an international importance, he did not refrain from flying off to campaign fundraisers and campaigning and raising money because he said he didn't want to give the impression that the situation was enough to ruin his schedule or create a sense of panic. They were asked about that at the White House today as to does this then create a sense of panic? What about that inconsistency? Do you see significance in him canceling his trip today?
Well, from a communication standpoint, which is the way I try to look at things politically anyways, I think they learned their lesson this summer when they were out in Martha's Vineyard in Nantucket, whatever it was. And the incident that you pointed to where they sort of flew off to fundraisers instead of dealing with the threats that were facing the country, I think they saw a huge backlash both inside their own party and from the American people, and sort of learned their lesson that going off and doing campaign events when there are major crises occurring on the homeland is not smart politically, and that while the soundbite that they gave at the time back during the summer was how to justify it, that they've sort of realized that what the political reality of doing that kind of thing is.
Are you satisfied with what we're hearing from the CDC? I mean, this is one person. Sean, one person gets Ebola and dies, and we're going through everything we're going through based on that one person. A, should the borders be closed? And B, should the CDC head be gone, as some people are calling for?
Look, I don't think I'm qualified to make that decision. I don't have any medical training or anything, but I would say as someone who's watching this as an American like you and all the viewers that watch this program, there's something as a citizen that you sit back and say, what is going on here? In terms of both travel restrictions coming in and out of the country, the medical, the way in which the CDC is responding, and then the hospital down in Texas in particular, it doesn't look like we have our act together. And that's what makes me nervous, and that's what I think makes a lot of Americans nervous. It's not just one person or two persons. At this time, it's sort of going, okay, how fast can something like this spread? How much do you really understand about this disease? What are we doing to prevent it? And so I don't have a ton of confidence in government as a whole right now, whether it's the CDC or the federal government, in terms of how the response to this is going in either way. I don't know whether, the CDC director is just doing the best he can, but I don't have a sense of confidence. I don't think most Americans have a sense of confidence either in the CDC or the general approach that the government has taken in this.
All right. The president is being avoided by senatorial candidates around the country. A new Washington Post ABC News poll out today shows that the president's job approval is down to 40%, and you got to go back 30 years to find a lower approval rating for Democrats among the American people. So heading into the midterms, I know there are a lot of races that are showing a lot of positive predictions. Are you confident?
I feel very good where we are now. I mean, I think the one thing that people have to keep in perspective is that for us to retake the Senate means we have to win 6 democratically held seats right now. They're not open. Some of them are open, and most of them are held by incumbents, meaning that we really have to push a rock up a hill. When you campaign against any incumbent, especially one in the Senate where they've been able to be there for 6 years, really get out there, use the advantages of office, whether it's the frank mail and town halls and the earned media that you get over 6 years, it's always a difficult task. So That being said, I do feel very good where we are, and I also feel very good about the fact that we're expanding the map. We're looking at places like Iowa and Colorado, New Hampshire, Virginia, states that weren't really deemed competitive by outside handicappers just a few months ago in the summer, and now we're talking about being up in a few or being within the margin of error in the other. So I feel very good about where we are, and I think it's telling that when you've got a president, which is sort of usually a big boost to your side. If you look at where the president is going, he's going to Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Michigan. He's staying in blue states because he can't get any of the candidates in sort of the purple states or even some blue-leaning states, and definitely not the red states, to want to be to campaign with him, and that's very telling.
Yeah. All right, Sean. Great to talk to you, sir. Thank you very much. We'll check in with you again very soon, I'm sure.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.